Is there a difference in memberships, corporate membership versus just like an individual who wants to join EDPA as a professional?
Yeah, no, great point. So the EDPA membership structure, the dues structure, is really based on the size of your company, right?
Okay.
So for under $1,000 a year, if you're a small business, you can be a member. Um, if you want to check it out at a chapter level, so one of the more active chapters is the Midwest, and Chicago's kind of the epicenter for there. The Northeast up in the Boston area, you could join a chapter for, I don't know, it might even be $100 or $150. And you can go to those quarterly mixers or meetings and start to meet some people. That's a great way to get started. But it's the national chapter that's really going to add horsepower to a lot of the connections and the
Mm.
networking events. I would say there are, and we can talk about this later, but there are four pillars that really hold up the EDPA. There's really we're surrounded by the good work we do to support trade show families and include scholarships and families that have endured catastrophic events. There's advocacy for the industry, and there's a host of things that happens there. By far, I think the most popular thing is our networking events, and like I said, happens regionally, happens nationally. It's fantastic. There's fundraising around all of that, and there's just good fellowship and camaraderie. And then education, I think, is the linchpin, and that is, we all go to school for academic education, but once you're out on the job market, you want to continue that learning. And so EDPA offers a variety of ways that you can, there are tools that can help new people onboard and learn about the industry. By the way, I think we've talked about this before, Khalil. One third of all the professionals that work in the business event space are brand new to the industry within the last 4 years post pandemic. So we got a lot of new people, either
Okay.
people coming into the workforce for the first time or people that have changed industries. So it's EDPA gets that it's really important to provide some educational opportunities for people to learn new skill sets. It could be trade skills. It could just be learning about the industry. But yeah,
And
so
what does that look like for the educational opportunities, like in
so that is
practicality?
this is I think this is the 800-pound gorilla in EDPA right now because you've got
Okay.
so many new people. We are doing formal training workshops and courses that, for example, we've done that in partnership with the Exhibitor Live Show, where there's actually accreditation through a university.
Mm.
The EDPA's contribution is new, so we're not just it's the Exhibitor Live's always been focused to the brand side trade show managers, but we realize there's a need for a curriculum for professionals that work in the industry at exhibit companies and service and supplier companies. So project management, as an example, um, learning about the operations parts of the industry. Uh, so you'll see things happening at events that are more formal like that. You'll see chapter and national guest speakers. We had a great one last year at Access. If you know the name, you may not know the name Paul Tuttle Jr., but you might remember American Choppers, the father and son show where they made the cuss. Well, Paul Jr. is Junior, and he was, they each split off and did their own brands. And you'd be amazed, here's this guy that brings $300,000 worth of high-end motorcycles, and you realize how similar his design and creative processes as he's helping brands create these unique things, whether it be for Major League Baseball had a bike. There was a company that made scaffolding. One of the bikes he had was so it was really built a lot out of those parts. And you realized our designers, and when we're creating an original exhibit for somebody, I learned a ton of information from Paul about, um, just what his thought process and design process was. Anyway, so there's stuff like that that even though you may have a higher education, academic degree, we're people that need to keep feeding our brains, right, on the creative and the strategic and where the trends are. So there's great stuff like that. We had a woman who spoke last year. If you ever saw the movie Argo, that Ben Affleck won the Academy
Yeah.
Award for, and it was about a group of people that went in to rescue some hostages in Iran. And, so the CIA was part of getting them ready, and they posed as a movie production company. Well, the woman who was married to the main character there, she was also in the CIA as the chief operations officer of disguises. So it's fascinating
Mm.
for her to share her creative process and go through some of, what she did. Lots of great pictures that she showed us, but I'm some of it is inspiring, some of it is stuff you go, "I can actually use this in my day job on Monday." So I've plugged in. Obviously, I'm a fan of EDPA, but you plug into a community that allows you to, however successful you are, I don't care if you've been in the industry for 10 or 20 years, you can take it farther with some of the resources you could plug into as a member of EDPA.